Yeah, celebrate. Woo! That is right, boys. Victory feels so good. I remember it so well. Actually, not really, because I started the season 0-4. But I remember the sweet, sweet taste of victory. I'm sorry, George. It was you who got me my first victory, so I have to give you a big thank you. But man, does it feel good. Now, welcome to your Week 6 OGFFL video show. I'm, of course, your host, your commissioner, Mr. Robert Triano. Welcome, everybody. It is, of course, Wine Wednesday, so cheers to all of you celebrating along with me. We got to do, of course, first things first. Congratulations to last week's high score, which was Ramazan. Of course, as you guys know, I wasn't able to do a video last week because I was in Atlantic City. And then, of course, this week, Richard Mark, congratulations with high score. That is now 5 different players, 5 different owners with high score in the first 5 weeks. An incredible start to the season. A lot of parity, a lot of teams looking good here. But let's just go right into it. Let's go right around the league. So I was looking at, as you guys know, I track all our stats, our points and everything, and how what teams would do each week against each other and stuff. But a key number is popping up in the stats, and that number is 1,200. Every single week to start, week 1 through now week 5, as a cumulative effort, the league has scored over 1,200 points. That means the league is averaging over 100 points per team, which is wild. And this is happening all around my leagues. That's not just this league, all around. Why? Scoring's high. I get it. A big reason to me, what I see, is the quarterback position. Our league itself, the average for the number 12 quarterback on a weekly basis is 28. So if your quarterback isn't scoring 28 points, your team doesn't have a top 12 quarterback that week, which is crazy. 28 was a solid week in fantasy football for a quarterback. Now it's not even a top 12 starting quarterback. So points are high. Just to kind of look back at last prior years, over 1,200 points cumulative only happened once last year. Once. It's happened every single week this year so far. 5 straight weeks. In 2016, it happened 5 times, so we've already matched 2016's total. And in 2015, it happened 6 times. So maybe last year was a little outlier, or only once, which is surprising. I thought last year was high scoring as well, but I guess it was low scoring for a year. But we're already on 2015's sled of 6 1,200 points. We're 1 behind, and we've got, 8 weeks to go? We're going to crush that. We may average 1,200 points for the season at this point. And to look at that, we've got 2 teams that have actually not scored 100 not scored under 100 points yet this season. It was 3 until this week. Gio was one of them until he scored under 100 points this week. The 2 teams, though, that have not scored under 100 so far is Ramazan and Rich and Mark. So congratulations, you guys. You guys are on fire so far to start the season. Let's dive right into it. Let's look at some key injuries going into this week. We already know T.Y. Hilton's been ruled out. We already know Leonard Fournette's been ruled out. Now, he is key because he might be out till week 10. That's a big injury right there. If you don't get Leonard Fournette till week 10, that is major. It's a major player to try and replace. Greg Olsen may or may not play this week, but he's most likely going to be out this week and then potentially play next week, which is a lot quicker than people thought he was going to come back. Some to look out for. Dalvin Cook, he's questionable with that hamstring injury. Deshaun Watson, watch out for him. He was getting crushed in that game against Dallas last week, which kind of made you think, like, what is Bill O'Brien doing calling for these run plays? I don't know if they were called run plays. Maybe one was, but he was just scrambling and looking to get hit. Like, come on, dude, just run out of bounds. What are you going to gain? 1 extra yard at the goal line? If anything, it's making it more difficult for you to throw the ball. Look out for Cooks and Kupp. Both suffered concussions. Both said they were okay, but look out for them this week. And then Adrian Peterson, dislocated shoulder, and he hurt his knee in the game. So look out for him. He may or may not play. There may be some others that I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but those are the ones to look out for, the major players. But let's look around the league and look at the top waivers for this week. Now, my top waiver, a little pricey, but That's got to be Wendell Smallwood. I forgot to look at whoever has Clement. I know Matt did have Clement, I believe. I don't know if he still has him right now. But Smallwood for $36, a little pricey, but it's much needed. It was a very, very good pickup. I believe it was by Ed. It was by Ed. Congratulations, Ed. You got Smallwood. It's a good start for you this week. You should do well tomorrow night against the Giants defense, who doesn't let up points against wide receivers, but they let up points against running backs. So that may be a good start for you. Another one, Jameis Winston by me, number 2. I didn't pay anything for him, and I'm going to have a winning quarterback this week, going against an Atlanta defense that gets shredded by quarterbacks. So look out for that play this week. And then number 3, Austin Hooper, who I believe was taken by Ramazan. Great matchup this week against Tampa, who gives up the most points against tight ends. But the only problem is nobody else bid for him. And you gave up $17. I get it. No problem. I've done the same thing. But $17 for a tight end that people have tight ends and nobody else bid. Little pricey. Kind of stinks. You almost feel like you're throwing away money. But you know what? You got your guy. That's all that matters. And actually, this is going to be a pretty quick video this week, guys. That's really it around the league that I could see any kind of major plays. But I do want to revisit the TD percentage again. So I'm watching every week, and it's really cool to see the percentages go up and down by how many touchdowns everyone gets and how many points they score. So we have a new top 3. Your top 3 in percentage points of TDs to your total score. Joe's at 37%, mostly because of Todd Gurley, who is unstoppable at the moment. But he's also, so he's in first in percentage and first in total touchdowns scored. You have myself, number 2 at the moment. So I was in the middle of the pack. Now I'm number 2 in percentage points to total points at 33.2%. But I'm 8th in touchdowns scored. So that means not only I'm lower on scoring touchdowns, but I'm high in percentage points. So that means I'm not getting points other than touchdowns the last couple of weeks. So that may reverse course. I may be looking at some low scores coming up. And Miguel, he's got the 3rd highest total touchdowns and the 3rd highest percentage at 32.5%. Kind of go hand in hand. The lower, your bottom part, is Andrew. He's got the 10th highest, so the 3rd lowest total in touchdowns scored, but the lowest percentage at 26.15. So maybe there's a little bit of an increase there, but not much. You're still low. You got Ed at 26%, 2nd lowest total touchdowns scored, and Alex the lowest of 25.7 with the lowest touchdown scored. So you got that there. My key team to look out for, it was George 2 weeks ago, who I said had low percentage of touchdowns, but high touchdowns. So he was, no, I'm messing that up. Yes, high touchdowns, low percentage of his points scored. So he was getting points scored by other means than touchdowns. You're getting the same thing from this team, and it's Ramazan. Last 2 weeks, his team has been killing it. He's 4th in touchdowns scored, so he's high. But he's 5th lowest in percentage, so he's getting points not only from touchdowns, but from yards as well. So that's a team to watch out for the next couple of weeks, who may just catapult to the top of the rank, not only the rankings, but also the standings. So look out for Ramazan, who we thought maybe had the curse of the previous champs. He may be changing that this year. So that's it, guys. A little quick video for you. Again, newsletter will be coming out Saturday. Once again, we'll get back to it here. Game previews. You'll get your rankings. You'll get your blazing picks. And you'll get your first ever Who's Hot, Who's Not of the season. So be ready, guys. I'll see you soon. And hey, cheers.